In this video, we are showing you another simple little idea that you can have a go at making in scrap woods. So that's what we start the process off with, is to find some scrap wood suitable for the job. We then proceed with preparing the designs that we're going to use. In this example, we're actually making wristbands or bangles, whatever you want to call them. We've bought those pre-prepared, but what we are adding to them are simple little charms. So things like the sun, a wave, a shamrock, and various different leaves. So to prepare the design, we add a PVA solution and stick those designs onto the wood itself. To get more productive, we are stack cutting these designs. We super glue 2 layers of wood together, 2 contrasting colors. You can then do any piercework holes using the pillar drill. So in these examples, it is only the tree design that requires any piercework. Afterwards, we sand the back of each project nice and flat so it will sit on the scroll saw bed more comfortably, making it easier to cut out. The reason we mark out several projects on one larger piece of wood, as opposed to making individual small pieces of wood for doing this, is it makes it slightly easier to cut out. If you're trying to cut out on a very small piece of wood, your hands are closer to the scroll saw blade and it's a little bit more difficult to hold and control. As you can see, then we're doing that pierce work on the tree, and then we proceed with cutting the outline on all of the other designs. A lot of our projects, we take advantage of not just our scroll saw skills and our general woodworking skills, we combine it with our hand carving skills. Most of the time that we spend on the scroll saw with this particular project is cutting those outlines. So we cut each and every one of the individual charms out one at a time. That's the beauty of working with the scroll saw. It has a fine blade, especially the blades we work with being pinless blades. They can do all of the detail and character in the designs that you are cutting out. Once we've finished off with our scroll saw, we then go across to the bench and we can use our Starbond super glue, the black super glue, to add a little bit of extra definition to the design. So the design that we're focusing on here is a simple little shell, and by using that Starbond super glue, you get another color into the simple little charm. We can then put those hand carving skills to good use. So we're using our different shaped gouges and chisels to add more interest to the leaves, the tree, and the flower designs. We then proceed onto our belt sander, and we can sand everything nice and smooth, take off any sharp edges, and to create a more refined finish before we go on to the hand finishing itself. The next part of the process is to prepare the metal eyes that will be used for adding the little charms to the bracelets themselves. So the first thing that we have to do is, using 2 pairs of pliers, we can just force open the eyes, and that will allow the little charms to be attached to the wristbands themselves. Once we have done that, we can then add those little eyes to the charms themselves, bore a hole, a guide hole, into the wooden charms. We then screw those metal eyes into the charms, ready for them to be attached to the wristbands. We can focus our attention after this on the shellacking. So we add 3 coats of shellac sanding sealer, rubbing them down in between each coat, refining the finish as we go, and then a final coat of linseed oil mixed with beeswax. Our preferred choice of shellac sanding sealer is the Fiddy's shellac. The reason for this, it gives you quite a matte finish. We always feel that it gives you a more natural looking finish. Once we are happy with the finish that we've got on the item, we can then attach them to those wristbands, so tightening up that eye after we have already forced it open. And that is the simple process of adding wooden charms to wristbands and bracelets. If you've got any questions about that process, get them into the comments section. It's always a pleasure pleasure if we're able to help you out. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you know when we upload another video. And as always, thank you again for watching.